And we're back for another day of local TV, local entertainment, and local information. We do our best. How are you? It's Wednesday, the 10th day of June, 2020. I'm Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. And we got some good stuff for you today. First of all, the weather is going to do a complete change from yesterday. It was cool. It was only 63 degrees, had a little bit of light rain. We didn't get much, 0.02 inches of rain as measured up at Painbowl Memorial Airport. We needed more, we didn't get more. It was just kind of a cool, cloudy, very early spring-like day, even though we are pretty late into spring. Yesterday's high was only 63, 14 degrees below our normal high for the 9th day of June. But now it's the 10th day of June, and things are going to change completely. We're going to have a significant warm-up, but again, thunderstorms, possibility towards the very end of the week. In fact, the chance of some thunderstorms are actually increasing. According to the National Weather Service, we'll have complete forecast details coming up. We've got your news headlines. We're talking sports. Major League Baseball Players Association and the owners can't seem to agree on a lot of things to get baseball up and running. Oh, well, we'll talk about that when we get to sports. We'll have everything else you're used to. We're going to replay that interview that we did with Linda Hagelin, by the way, in the back half of the hour. Linda, of course, is the executive director of the Wenatchee Downtown Association. Wanted to check in with her and her fine organization and her members in her group to find out how they're doing, as we're all still stuck here in phase one in Chelan County and Douglas County, and it is affecting the downtown businesses, as you might imagine. We'll check in with Linda in the back half of the hour. A couple minutes after 7 o'clock, 52 degrees. Let's do what we do best. Take our tour around north central Washington. We'll begin with the cross camera, which is zoomed in just a skosh, just a little bit. As we look out over the Wenatchee Valley proper, the sun is bathing Sunny Slope. That's how Sunny Slope got its name. If the sun's out, Sunny Slope gets sun pretty much all day from sunrise, which this morning was 5:04, to sunset, which tonight is at 8:57, 15 hours and 53 minutes of daylight, which is pretty much the same that we had yesterday. We go through a period of about 3.5 weeks when we get about a minute and a half more daylight, and then it kind of slows down and gets to the point where we have more daylight, but excuse me, it's measured more in seconds as opposed to minutes as we get closer and closer to the summer solstice, which this year is on Saturday, January 20th. Good morning, Wenatchee Valley. Camera 2 is Megan's choice, I have to guess. I did a really bad job yesterday. That looks like McNeil Canyon camera, am I correct? That is zoomed back quite a bit. That's a cool little view there. Lake Chelan way off in the distance there as we look at McNeil Canyon. Great view there. It takes a certain kind of person to want to live in that kind of area. I mean, it's just beautiful, but you know, you're making tuna casserole and you're out of butter and it's a long drive to the grocery store from that area. You got to have that right mental acuity to live in that kind of area. But the trade-off is you get views like that. Incredible view from our McNeil Canyon camera looking over the Chelan Valley. Camera number 3. It is off to the Manson Water Tower, I believe. Yay, I got it right. The Butte is across the lake there. Good morning to Manson, the Bear Mountain Golf Course, the State Park, the South Shore, plainly in view. Manson will have fireworks this year. In fact, the only 2 places that are going to have fireworks for a big stretch of real estate is Manson and Wenatchee. Wenatchee's still going to have their fireworks show. It's just going to be different this year because the park will be closed. We'll talk more about that as we get closer and closer to it. We will be televising, as usual, the fireworks come Independence Day on Saturday the 4th of July. And so Wenatchee and Manson, that's it. I think most of the other major metropolitan areas have canceled their fireworks shows for the year. I'm pretty sure about that. Camera number, are we up to 4? Thank you. Oh, that's got to be the Waterville camera, Megan? Hey, looking down, I believe, towards the Wenatchee Valley. So Lake Antiat, which is not a lake, it's a river. But when you think about it, the Columbia River is really now, with all the dams on it, pretty much a series of reservoirs. They can control the flow of the Columbia River. Before the dams, as I mentioned before, I'm reading a fascinating book on the history of the Columbia River. Before the dams came, the Columbia River would just cook. Columbia River has a big differential in elevation from where it begins up in Canada to where it ends at sea level in the Pacific Ocean. And before the damps came, the Columbia River was a fast-running river, not nearly what it used to be. Good morning to our friends up in Waterville. Thanks for joining us. All right, 6 minutes after the hour. Once again, a couple of slides that the National Weather Service sent to us that we move on to you. And yep, it's going to be warmer today. Finally, we're going to be up near normal. It's going to be warmer today through Friday. Widespread highs in the 70s today, upper 70s to low 80s for Thursday and Friday. And then, well, scattered thunderstorms, a possibility. And as I mentioned at the top of the show, they are increasing their chances of thunderstorms, at least for the Wenatchee Valley, for Friday. There is a chance on Thursday. There's a better chance of a pop-up thunderstorm on Friday. So we're looking at maybe some significant weather coming our way on Thursday and Friday. But again, for the Wenatchee Valley, probably Friday. So we're talking pop-up thunderstorms, some pretty powerful cells, can bring some lightning and hail and downpours and wind, the things that we associate ourselves with thunderstorms. And again, they're thinking, well, there's a better chance of that, a renewed chance of what they say of thunderstorms, especially on Friday. Let's go ahead and get into the details on this. Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling gives your home a hug from the National Weather Service. Huge change in the high temperature today. Yesterday, 63. Normally, we're supposed to be at 77, so we were 14 degrees below normal yesterday. We'll be a couple of degrees above normal today, with a high of 79 and quite a bit of sunshine. Clouds will return tonight, 57 for the overnight low. Then we're looking at pretty cloudy skies both Thursday and Friday. A 40% chance of rain both Thursday and Friday, but the key here is the warmer temperatures on Friday, the higher humidity, the unstableness in the atmosphere. So we do have a chance of some thunderstorms late Friday afternoon into Friday night. We're going to get a little bit of light rain, it looks like, on Thursday, a little bit of light rain on Friday. But again, chance of thunderstorms on Friday, it continues to increase, not decrease. Saturday, kind of a mixed bag. We'll call it partly cloudy, a high of 74, so we go back down below normal as the next system moves in. Sunday, high of 75, so a little wet, maybe a little cool on Saturday and Sunday. Temperature is just a little bit below normal, not dramatically below normal. Lots of clouds as we go back on Monday with a high of about 76, partly cloudy on Tuesday and a high of 77. So if you're looking for a continued stretch of sunny and warm weather, that ain't going to happen. If you'd like lots of sunshine, today's your day, because the clouds are going to get the better of the two come Thursday, Friday, and really for the most part right into the weekend. And once again, keeping a very close eye on some possible thunder cells popping up late Friday afternoon and into Friday evening. We've had a little bit of everything weather-wise this week. We've had like a month's worth of weather in like 6 days. It's spring. That's what we get around here. A little past 8 minutes after the hour, we're going to take a break and come back with your Wednesday morning news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, and we're broadcasting live this morning from Studio 2 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Live channel.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Nissan is the value leader in new cars and SUVs. Check out these new models starting at under $20,000. The all-new Versa from $17,020. The all-new Sentra from $17,400. And the all-new Kicks from $17,995. Now you can have the Nissan style, performance, and reliability, all for under $20,000.
And they're all here at Town Nissan, up behind Costco in East Wenatchee.
Mixture of clouds and sun, 52 degrees outside of our studios at 10 minutes after the hour. We'll be up near 80 for our forecast high with quite a bit of sunshine. And then we're going to deal with quite a bit of cloud cover, some rain, and maybe even some thunderstorms come Thursday and Friday. And here's your news. A fire at Fields Point Landing in Chelan on Monday night destroyed a house that was undergoing a remodel. And by the time Chelan Fire and Rescue crews got there, The home at 351 Fields Point Landing had already pretty much burned to the ground, the fire district reported. Strong winds off the lake pushed the fire into brush, and that in turn threatened another home before firefighters doused that fire. Firefighters from Manson and Antioch assisted in battling the fire. The cause of that house fire is under investigation. Speaking of Chelan, Chelan's premier water park now seeking permission to reopen. In federal court, Slidewaters filed suit last month against the State Department of Labor and Industries in Chelan County Superior Court, but the Attorney General's office arranged to have the case heard in the Eastern District U.S. Court in Spokane. A judge will hear arguments on Friday on whether to grant an injunction that would bar L&I from using emergency enforcement power to fine Slidewaters or any other business for operating during the COVID-19 emergency. Of course, water parks and other gathering places in Chelan County remain closed or restricted while the county is in phase 1 of the state's coronavirus emergency plan. It was a dumpster fire kind of day, literally, figuratively, in Moses Lake on Monday. Crazy day. On Monday morning, they responded to a trash fire at a lakeside disposal truck. Crews were able to get that flaming garbage out of the truck, and they got it put out, as you can see. Then about 3:30 that very same afternoon, they were called to the scene of a pair of related wrecks on I-90 that started when a westbound pickup towing a loaded car trailer hit and high-centered on the Jersey barrier. The Washington State Patrol said the Jersey barrier pushed into the eastbound lane, and that triggered a semi and car collision that sent the car partially into Moses Lake. The freeway was closed in both directions as the mess was cleaned up. It wasn't until about 6:30 in the evening before both lanes were reopened. No serious injuries, by the way, thank goodness, in those accidents. Speaking of Moses Lake police say a would-be shoplifter just kept getting in bigger and bigger trouble for himself. This happened Sunday at Tri-City Outfitters. 22-year-old Elias Cuervas reportedly attempted to steal ammunition, but he was spotted by several employees and a customer who happened to be an off-duty corrections officer. When he was confronted, Cuervas allegedly assaulted an employee. Well, police got there, and then they say he gave a false name, but when he was searched, they found a pistol in his pocket and stolen checks made out to himself using his real name. Being a felon, Cuervas was charged with unlawful possession of a firearm in addition to the robbery charges. In posting about the arrest, by the way, the Moses Lake Police Department used the hashtag, "The ammo didn't even fit the gun." Not everybody would be happy to be called a high-intensity drug trafficking area, but for Grant County, that means a chance at more money and resources for local police and sheriff's deputies. The White House Office of National Drug Control Policy assigned the designation to Grant County on Friday. It coordinates information sharing among departments and makes the county's interagency narcotics enforcement team eligible for grants and assistance to combat drug trafficking. Well, the Forest Service is having a problem, a big problem with parking on Icicle Road. Recreationists, of course, are returning to the mountains after limited recreational access during the COVID-19 shutdown. Take a look at this video that was shot Saturday by Stephanie Mayer. Look at this long line of vehicles. It's parked along the roadway. You're not supposed to park along the roadway. The Forest Service said emergency vehicles can't get through. Search and rescue teams can't get through, so they have to dispatch helicopters because their vehicles are simply too big. Now, parking is only allowed at the 8 Mile and Stewart Lake trailheads, and the Forest Service is asking people to plan their hiking trips during the weekdays when there's less people, or have another plan in mind if the trailheads are too crowded. Well, as you might expect, total home sales in the Wenatchee Valley real estate market tumbled a lot in May, 33% compared to May of last year. That's the latest from Pacific Appraisal Associates. Home sales falling from 98 homes in May of last year to just 66 homes in May of this year. The good news in the report is that the active home listings are up 13% from last month, while closed sales are down slightly, just 1% compared to May of last year. The median sales price of a home ticked up slightly by 3% over the same period. $349,000 is the median price for a home in the Wenatchee market. The average sales price went up by 5% compared to last year. And finally, on this Wednesday, 2 PUD districts have gone to court over the way they share electric power. 46 years ago, the Grant County PUD agreed to provide some of its power to the Chelan County PUD after the Wanapum Dam project reduced the potential electric output from Rock Island Dam, which is, of course, up the river. Last November, Grant PUD changed the way it distributes that power, and the Chelan PUD says, now, wait a minute, some of the electricity now comes from non-renewable sources. Chelan PUD spokesman Neil Nuritso says that is a breach of contract.
When we sell into the market, we're able to sell hydropower at a higher price than many other sources because it's a renewable energy source, and there are other utilities or companies that may find that of value. So if it's carbon-based energy source, it doesn't have as much monetary value to us as something as hydropower would. And we have a great working relationship with our neighboring utilities and have a real history of collaboration with them. But on this matter, we have a difference of opinion. And so we just want to make sure that we're compensated in the way that the agreement calls out.
And that's what's making news on this Wednesday, the 10th day of June. Once again, the crew, some working remotely from home, others working here at the Broadcast Metroplex, will be able to cobble together a newscast for you tonight, keeping in the loop on what's going on here in the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington. With a preview of tonight's news, here's the anchor, Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, Jefferson Robbins will have a look at what businesses around the Wenatchee Valley have had employees test positive for COVID-19. I'll have your nice North Central Washington weather forecast for Wednesday, and Eric Granstrom will have your sports report. That and more coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. We appreciate it. You want to drop us a note, submit a news tip, just say hi, look at the bottom of your screen. That's how you can go about doing it. You can email us directly, news@ncwlife.com, news@ncwlife.com is our email address. If you go to our website, ncwlife.com, you can either submit a news tip or you can just drop us a note, use the Contact Us icon at the top of the page, or go to our Facebook page and use Facebook Messenger and let us know if there's something out there that you think warrants our attention. 17 minutes after the hour, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're talking Major League Baseball. We're talking it's draft day for the Seattle Mariners. We'll talk a little racing. We got a lot on the plate in the ever-widening world of sports, and that's 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live from Studio 3 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
What's your Automocha emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate for pita.
Definitely the espresso shakes.
My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull.
Owner Andrew Vickery brings years of experience to help you transition your backyard into a place where memories are made, family time is looked forward to, and friends are always welcome. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa offers many different styles and sizes of artesian spas, both new and used, as well as residential and commercial pool and spa services, regular maintenance and repairs, and all the chemicals required to keep your pool and spa crystal clear. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa today.
We're back at 19 minutes after the hour on this Wednesday. Let's talk about sports. Major League Baseball owners set a deadline with the Major League Baseball Players Association. The deadline is today to begin the short season by July 4th. Or do we have a deal? We don't have a deal. The Players Union responded to management's proposal yesterday saying they will not agree to anything less than full prorated salaries. Representatives for the players also said they'll be willing to reduce the regular season to 89 games. The Major League owners have proposed 82 games, but they did agree to expand the playoffs from 10 teams to 16 teams. In the players' counter proposal, they said they'll agree to end the World Series mid to late November and shift postseason games to neutral sites where the weather will be warmer. The players proposed starting the season July 10th, ending the season October 11th. Major League Management set a deadline for an agreement today if they hope to get the season started by Independence Day weekend. The Mariners have the 6th overall pick in today's Major League Baseball draft. According to Mariner insider Greg Johns, Seattle is in the market for more young pitching. You can never have enough good pitching. They have their eyes on Georgia standout Emerson Hancock, fellow right-hander Max Mayer out of Minnesota, or lefty Reed Detmers from Louisville. John says not to be surprised if Seattle nabs New Mexico State's Nick Gonzalez, if Nick Gonzalez is still available. He's a middle infielder who was league MVP in the WAC and MVP in the Cape Cod League last year. The Mariners have to wait behind Detroit, Baltimore, Miami, Kansas City, and Toronto in the first round. They'll have the 43rd overall pick in the second round tomorrow and the 64th overall selection in the competitive balance round B. Unlike the NFL, where teams flip-flop between rounds, the draft order remains the same through each round. Seattle has 6 total selections over the next couple of days. Seahawks have added somebody to the front office. It's a name you may recognize, Alonzo Highsmith, the former NFL running back, brought on board as a consultant leading up to this year's draft. Now, according to ESPN's Brady Henderson, Highsmith will be a personnel executive in the scouting department for the Seahawks. After a successful college career as a fullback for Miami under coach Jimmy Johnson, Highsmith was drafted by the Houston Oilers in the 3rd overall pick back in 1987. His NFL career was shortened by knee injuries. He only played for 5 years. Highsmith worked with John Schneider in Green Bay as the senior personnel executive back in 2012. Prior to coming to Seattle, he worked for the Cleveland Browns in a similar capacity. NASCAR, they're ready to open up to some fans. After 3 weeks of racing without fans, NASCAR decided a limited number of fans can attend races this month at Homestead Miami Speedway and Talladega Superspeedway. The governing body for racing says all fans will be screened before entering. They'll be required to wear face coverings, keep a social distance of 6 feet, and not have access to the infield. That means about 1,000 fans at Homestead and about 5,000 at Talladega. NASCAR says military service members will be selected to attend the first race. Fans wishing to attend at Talladega will have to buy tickets. First come, first serve. By the way, with a couple of practices under their belt at the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval, Jeremy Anders apparently is cooking up some kind of race idea. He's being kind of vague. He reached out to Eric Granstrom late last night about a brainstorm that he had. It may involve us here at the NCAA Life Channel. Hopefully we'll have more information with the news tonight at 5 o'clock. We call that, in this business, a tease. The coronavirus pandemic, of course, has forced everybody to change their plans. Haley Van Lith among them. Of course, she just graduated from Cashmere High School and finished the Running Start program at Wenatchee Valley College. And she was on a recent edition of Life with Lisa, a great program on this very television station. And Haley talked about the challenges of staying active in basketball when everything is shut down.
I'm very blessed. I have access to a nice weight room and a half court like basketball court that I can still get shots up in. So I really am very blessed in this situation, but I mean, I can't play live, which sometimes you can only do so much training before you're like, I want to play, like I want to get back on the court and play defense and like steal the ball and score. But no, I have a lot of stuff to be grateful for right now. And I'm just going to keep working away and hopefully everyone stays healthy and we can get back to basketball soon.
As you probably know, Haley Van Lith is headed to Louisville next year. She has a full ride scholarship to be a Cardinal. In the meantime, she says the pandemic has kept her from partaking in several high-profile events.
So this spring, I was selected for 2 All-American games, the McDonald's All-American and the Jordan Brand Classic. And they're 2 like very honorable games. Lots of past great NBA, WNBA players have been a part of them. And just not being able to participate, being selected was great news. Like, I was so happy, very blessed. But you want to get selected, but you also want to play in it and like be a part of it. And just not getting the opportunity to do that was hard for me to swallow at first. But obviously, sports becomes very low on the priority list when something like this is happening in the world. And even I was supposed to be a part of something called Culture Jam, where I was going to get to collaborate with music artists and all sorts of different people in LA this spring. And I'm also not getting to do that, which I was super excited about. But at the same time, if it's meant to be for me, it'll come up again in my life. And all I can do is just be with my family right now and not try to focus on everything I've lost.
You can see Haley's complete interview with Lisa Bradshaw on our website. Go to ncwlife.com, go to the full episodes list, and then click on Life with Lisa. And you can watch the whole darn show, and it's well worth your time. At sports at 25 minutes after the hour, I had 4 obscure holidays to choose from. Today is National Ballpoint Pen Day. Today is National Iced Tea Day. I love a good iced tea. Today is National Black Cow Day. So get your Kahlua, your half and half, and your Coca-Cola, and have a black cow on me. We're not doing any of that, though. Today is National Herbs and Spices Day. That photo, by the way, I took in my kitchen yesterday. What is the most popular spice in the world? Think about it for just a minute. It's kind of surprising. I put a little bit of it in my chili. It's cumin. Cumin is the most popular spice in the world. The most common, most popular herb in the world is cilantro. But all of it depends on really where you're doing your cooking. In Europe and Africa, garlic is considered number 1 among all dishes, and no surprises, in the Mediterranean, it's oregano. There are some spices that every kitchen spice rack should have. Now, we don't count salt and pepper. That's out, because that's a staple. You got to have allspice. You can't go wrong with allspice in your kitchen. Ginger, oregano, cilantro, fennel, basil. Pretty straightforward. Rosemary, thyme, sage, cumin, nutmeg, cloves. Those are just some of the staples. And by the way, spices do go bad. They have a pretty long shelf life. You're supposed to keep them in a cool, dark place. But if you're not too sure, let the old nostrils take care of you. If you're thinking, I don't know, man, did the rosemary go bad? If you smell it, it kind of smells kind of musty. Get some fresh spices. Some spices are really expensive. I noticed that going to the store. That's why I do that with my spices. National Herbs and Spices Day today. 27 minutes after the hour. All 3 items in Today in History segment is all baseball related, because I'm a baseball fan, you know that. And this is the 99th anniversary, June 10th, 1921. Babe Ruth of the New York Yankees hits career home run number 120. He surpassed Roger Connor and became baseball's all-time home run king on this date with home run number 120. He would go on to break his own record 594 more times. That's how much Babe Ruth dominated baseball in the 1920s, a remarkable number, but he became the home run king on this date 99 years ago today. In World War II, especially in 1944, pretty much every able-bodied American professional baseball player was in the service. Either you volunteered, you signed up, you were in a enlisted man, or you were drafted. And Major League Baseball rosters and the teams had a really hard time filling out their rosters. They had guys who were 45 years old. They had the one-armed Pete Gray, who played for the St. Louis Browns. The quality of baseball went down in 1944. It's a given. There just simply wasn't enough talent. And only in 1944 could this have happened. Joe Nuxhall of the Cincinnati Reds played his very first game. Joe Nuxhall was 15 years old, the youngest player ever to play in a Major League Baseball game. He was a sophomore in a high school. He allowed 5 earned runs in his one appearance, was sent down to the minors, and didn't return to the majors until 1952. But at 15 years old, Joe Nuxhall made his Major League debut. Hey, if you're a warm body and you can throw strikes, we'll take you. That's how it was. And speaking of the St. Louis Browns, we talked about Rogers Hornsby before. He is, without question, in my mind, the greatest second baseman in Major League Baseball history. That's the good thing about Rogers Hornsby. The bad part about Rogers Hornsby, he was just an ornery, nasty, impossible jerk to be around. Nobody liked Rogers Hornsby. He was a racist. He was an anti-Semite. He just happened to be a really good baseball player. After he retired, he became a manager. The players hated him. They hated him so much that on this date, 68 years ago today, on June 10th, 1952, Bill Veeck, the owner of the Browns, fired Rogers Hornsby as the manager. Said, I made a mistake. I thought Rogers Hornsby had mellowed. He hadn't. The players were so happy that Rogers Hornsby got the axe that they actually had a trophy made for the owner of the team, and they gave it to him that afternoon. That's how much they hated Rogers Hornsby. Thanks, Bill Veeck, for firing the manager. Here's a trophy as a gesture of our thanks. That would be cool if that happened today. Anyway, it happened on this day back in 1952. Birthdays today, Chester Arthur Burnett, Howlin Wolf, blues legend. Born in the state of 1910. I listened to some Howlin Wolf when I got home yesterday. This is for adults only. Howlin Wolf, that's a serious bunch of blues right there. Smokestack Lightning, Killing Floor, Wang Dang Doodle, Spoonful. Inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame back in 1991. His rivalry with Muddy Waters was legendary. These two great bluesmen, and I'm a huge fan of Howlin Wolf. Died in 1976 at the age of 65. Serious blues there. That's the kind of music that you have to lean forward just a little bit. Happy 99th birthday to the oldest ever male member of the British royal family. Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, is 99 years old today, married to the Queen, completely retired from all public duties about 3 years ago. He's almost never seen in public anymore. I understand they're having a small gathering for the 99th birthday of Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh. It'd be nice to have a title. I want a title. I want to be the Duke of Earl. No, somebody else already is. Maurice Sendak, Where the Wild Things Are was absolutely, growing up, my all-time favorite children's book. It's still an all-time classic. Maurice Sendak, of course, who not only wrote Where the Wild Things Are, but illustrated it as well, was born in the state of 1928, passed away at the age of 2012. Where the Wild Things Are is a good book for adults, for that matter. And after I read that book, I never, ever wanted to be sent to bed without supper again. Maurice Sendak, born in the state. And happy 28th birthday to Kate Upton, who I can now put her picture on my show because the restraining order has since expired. I'm joking. Happy 28th birthday to Kate Upton. Life is good for her. 32 minutes after the hour. That was very funny, Megan. Only I heard that joke in my little earpiece. We're going to take a break. Mike Magnotti's got an opinion coming up. And then we're going to replay the interview I did with Linda Hagelin, the executive director of the Wenatchee Downtown Association. Always good to check in with Linda. How are our downtown friends doing with this Phase 1 COVID-19 issue? We'll talk about that and more with Linda when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hi, my name is Manuel Navarro, Chief Operating Officer at Columbia Valley Community Health. Patient safety is our top priority, including providing care that just can't wait. With enhanced safety precautions, we want to ensure you that we're able to continue providing safe and efficient in-person care at our clinic. From in-car check-in, ongoing screening, immediate rooming, your family can get the safe care that they deserve here at Columbia Valley Community Health.
We've missed short drives to see friends, long drives to see family. We've missed road trips, car camping, heck, we've even missed commuting. We're grateful to be getting back on the road. And like always, Les Schwab wants to help you drive safe. That's why our safety-related services, tires, brakes, and alignment are on sale. Save up to $210. Swing by, because we've missed you too. Or book online at leschwab.com. Les Schwab Tires. Doing the right thing matters.
How much are you paying for adult, family, or assisted living? Epladolin Retirement and Assisted Living offers one-bedroom apartments for one affordable price. Their rates are all-inclusive, no nickel or diming or sudden increases, just one set price. You or your loved one will receive good food and excellent care in a relaxed, home-like environment. Stop on by for a tour to see if the Epladolin family is the right choice for you.
Family-owned and operated Epladolin Retirement and Assisted Living in Cashmere. Affordable care.
Water is essential to living. From clean drinking water for good health to clean water for your pool or spa. Central Washington Water, your water experts. With whole home water filtration systems for your home's best water. Products and supplies to keep your pool and spa water crystal clear. To a full parts department. Count on Central Washington Water for expert help. Shop screen to screen. Come in or call about a backyard consultation. Central Washington Water, your water care professionals.
Doghouse Motorsports just won Best Motorsports Store for the 6th year in a row. Is it the great facility? Is it the fantastic products? Or is it?
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Tamer.
I'm Mike. And I'm Glenn.
Hi, I'm Todd.
I'm Jeff.
And this is the Doghouse Service Team.
Hi, I'm Dee.
And I'm Dwayne.
And I'm Kathy.
Come on in and experience the doghouse.
Are you in the doghouse?
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills in Manson. Remember the good old days? Sunday supper at Grandma's and the best recipes being passed down through generations? Well, come on out to Blueberry Hills and find amazing food with huge portions at family-friendly prices. From Benedict's to burgers to fresh fruit pies, there is something for everyone. Don't miss Blueberry Hills, where you pick, you sit, you eat, and you visit. wildaboutberries.com.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, my sister Jean is a retired Methodist minister. You know, I visited with her recently about, just family stuff, and we were discussing modern current issues related to Christianity and the Christian church, and she said something I found interesting. She said she thinks that we are seeing the end of the Christian church. Well, I mentioned this to my church's new associate pastor, and she said she thinks that what we're seeing is the end of the evangelical church. I think this view has merit in view of the evangelical tendencies to combine their faith with patriotism, which is dangerous, the evangelical condemnation of certain sectors of our population, and the way evangelicals seem to be really eager to declare that those they don't like are going to hell, as if they had the authority to do that. And as for the end of the Church of Jesus Christ, well, let's just say we wait and see what God has to say about that. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
Collins Fashions is now open. Following safety guidelines, come and shop at Collins Fashions. There's nothing like a new pair of sandals or outfit to lift your spirits. Tommy Bahama says fun in a stylish way. Mother of the bride or groom, special celebrations. Collins has a beautiful variety of dresses for all occasions. Need a little something to make you smile? Brighton jewelry and handbags fit us all. Collins Fashions is now open. Let's go shopping 10 to 5 Monday through Saturday.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill in East Wenatchee. Open 7 days a week, Highlander Grill offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Dine in or take it to go, our friendly staff is here to serve you. Reservations recommended for Friday night's prime rib dinner. Call for live music dates. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
At Harvest Valley Pest Control, we know you are committed to making your home and business a healthy and pest-free place. Hi, I'm David. Give us a call and we'll give you a firm price over the phone and schedule a time that works for you. We will do an in-depth 30-point healthy home or business inspection and craft a customized plan of action designed specifically for your pest issue. Give us a call or visit our website today.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. On a regular basis, we try to check in with Linda Hagelin, the Executive Director of the Wenatchee Downtown Association. Like everything else, her life has been turned upside down, not to mention the members of the Wenatchee Downtown Association. So we thought now would be a good time to check in with Linda and find out how our friends downtown are doing. I'm an unabashed fan of downtown. First of all, Linda, thanks for joining me. Second of all, on a personal standpoint, how are you doing? You're looking pretty good.
Well, I need a haircut. Is that what you mean? Like the rest of the world? I need my haircut. It's been really, really interesting. This goes into how can you teach old dog new tricks? All of this, obviously, right? Today, this whole Skyping thing, how we're connected. It's all been, if I can use the word I don't like very often, pivot. We've had to adjust. And as an organization, we've had to adjust, but also personally, I've had to adjust. And honestly, I'm a work at work and a home at home person. I don't work at home. Never have really well. And I try to keep that personal side, even though when you're public, it's never your personal side. But I try to have some kind of balance in that. And this has turned that all upside down and helped me, I think, be more creative. And if on another personal note, I've been doing this job 9 years. There's a lot about this job that I've been able to morph and change and adjust to. And I love what I do. And it's made us all stop and examine what we do, right? How do we do our job? How has our job changed in light of COVID? So it's hard for me to separate my personal and my work because my heart lives in downtown. So my heart hurts for my downtown businesses, my community. Particularly has been a tough week watching what's going on nationwide. So I'm ready to go on to what our next is. And if our next is 1.5, 2.0, 2.1, I don't know what it is, but I'm ready to help my downtown and my community get there.
I understand exactly what you're feeling, Linda. I'm one of those people, just like you. I have to go to work, and then when I'm not at work, I am at home and I'm not working. And I've had to make the adjustment like a lot of people have had. But what do you miss the most about actually going downtown, going to the second floor of the Gallatley building, going to your office, walking around downtown? What do you miss the most of the day-to-day part of your job that you can't do anymore right now?
Oh, that's easy. People, connecting to people, whether that's a meeting, whether walking into a store. If I'm having a typically stressful day because things have happened or whatever, I walk out of my office and I walk down and I visit Peggy at the Pickle or Marcy at Collins or the Balls at the Gilded Lily or Mela. I go into those places that are home to me. And I miss that the most. I miss that one-on-one personal connection. And the other thing I miss is I'm a fix-it person. I go fix things, right? And this one I haven't been able to fix. So what is good information? I think I miss that one-on-one personal connection and knowing we're making a difference. I think I miss that the most.
I'm going to divvy up our next question into two parts. What do you hear, first of all, from the property owners, the landlords who have property downtown? I'm not talking about the actual businesses or the clients who run businesses. I'm talking about the property owners. What have you been hearing from them over the last couple of months on how business is?
So I'm going to tell you a couple of things. One that's going to surprise you. The first one won't. The first one, their heart hurts for the people who lease their space. They do this because they love it. And even I have one major absentee property owner that doesn't live in Wenatchee. She still calls me because she cares about her buildings and who is in her building. I have seen incredible grace from my building owners and a heavy heart because they know that the businesses that they have come connected to and love are hurting. The one that will surprise you is we've had spaces leased through this time. That should surprise you a little bit, but for me, it's encouraging that there is still a whole lot of hope for the future in our downtown. So we've had spaces that have been vacant leased through this. And that's exciting to me. And those property owners are super excited. I talked to one 2 days ago who had the space leased. It's the space that used to be Clark's Jewelry. Brian Cook they own that space. And I saw the sign go down and I got really excited when the sign goes down. And I reached out to him and it leased. So we have had at least 6 leases that I know of through this time. That's a little different twist, a little bit of hope maybe for people who are listening.
And the business owners themselves, downtown Wenatchee especially has a very diverse economy. Lots of specialty stores, clothing stores, professional people. You have lawyers and people like that. And of course you have restaurants. Everybody's in this together, but when we start rolling out from phase 1 to phase 2 to phase 3, some businesses are going to be able to open ahead of others. What's your take on that?
Well, nothing about this is fair. Said that to my mayor many times. I wish I could find one level of fair in all of this. There isn't a level of fair. Hasn't been since the end of March, right? When we all got sent home. And I always say I got sent to my room. I don't do well as a kid being sent to my room. I still don't. So this has not been fair. And none of this is fair or will be fair. So the amount of going from essential to now into the phases of what can open is not fair. And I worry we're working creatively with our city to use more outdoor space. What will be clear is that people will shop, eat, and enjoy their community differently, and that's okay. And what I encourage people to do is when people push on me sometimes about, answers or what they feel comfortable doing or not doing, my answer is always the same. If you're not comfortable, don't do it, right? Do what works for you within the confines of where we're at right now. So as things begin to reopen, I feel a sense of excitement, Dan, but the other thing I feel is true concern that these business owners and employees downtown have for their customers, because their customers are their family. So they are very concerned, very conscious, and very conscientious about making this an environment when you can visit that you're comfortable in and that you'll want to come back to. So it's not, we need to get open, right? Have to right now. It is more of how can we do this collaboratively so our clients, our customers, our people are comfortable coming back. We can all do this together. That's encouraging to me, that people haven't been mean or upset about, they've been upset, but I mean, not to the point of not being collaborative. And that's been super fun.
What I would like to see, and I'm just spitballing here for what my opinion is worth, once the restaurants are going to be able to open up in a limited space, obviously with social distancing and 6 feet, this, that, and the other thing, we'd like shut down the downtown core, the avenue itself to traffic, and all the restaurants move their tables out in the middle of the avenue on a nice Saturday night. We have a big party. That's my idea.
Well, the first step in anything like that is I reached out to the city, and it's called private use of the public space. So your sidewalks are public space. So if you're familiar with sidewalk sales and stuff downtown, what we're proposing to the city, initial step, is more expanded use from June through September of that private space. So be able to move tables out, be able to move racks of merchandise out, be able to do more things on the sidewalk with umbrellas to still allow for ADA compatibility so people can still maneuver down the sidewalk, but have more exposure on the sidewalk. Step 2 to that then is what other space can we utilize? When you talk about shutting the downtown street down, it makes people really anxious. They want to be able to drive, they want to be able to park. So any issue we may have with parking or any of that, that exasperates that. But there's no reason, we're in conversations right now, restaurants can do temporarily. So maybe what can we do on those maybe Friday nights or some Friday nights in the summer? Maybe use the convention center plaza. I talked about an open wine bar out there, right? So we comply with liquor control, it's roped off, maybe some music that works within the maybe stage 3. So how can we utilize the public spaces more and not inconvenience the world, right? Again, this is not going to be fair to everyone, but restaurants are going to have a harder struggle than retail. That's all there is to it, by the nature of people touching. But Dan, it's been really interesting in talking with people about their behaviors. I've talked to several people who have gone out of the area, had to for business, and talked about going to those places that are open right now and they can go into a restaurant. They're looking at it differently. And so how do we meet the needs of our customers right now and our clients and still be able to love and enjoy the things that we love to do? And we're talking about it right now. So probably not going to shut down the avenue forever, right? But I think there's a good possibility we could do some really fun things that will allow people to be outside more and utilize it.
It's been so long since I talked to you, Linda. Again, we're talking to Linda Hagelin, the Executive Director of the Wenatchee Downtown Association. There's been one significant downtown development that we haven't really had a chance to talk about, and I want to get your thoughts on it. The Port Authority of Chelan and Douglas counties have become a pretty sizable landlord, snapping up some of those old cold storage facilities in the downtown area. Some great unused space, and they have big plans for it, and certainly your organization is a part of that. Talk to that, address that real quick if you don't mind.
Columbia Street. How many times have you heard people say, wouldn't it be fun to live in those funky old warehouses on Columbia Street? What we're seeing is a lot of excitement as the port moves forward. Obviously, the port's been passed right now with some grant money, so they're a little deep into how to help business right now. They're economic development drivers. So this kind of challenge is really brought them some challenges as well, trying to help small business with these grant monies. But we get back to this conversation of Columbia Street. A lot of interest in those buildings, a lot of interest in people getting into those buildings. So we will include some virtual tours of those. You know, our possibilities tours always happen, and we're still going to do one this summer, but we're going to have a tour and also a virtual option for people. So we're going to go in and film some of those so people can actually see them. I'm excited, and how the port has chopped those up into what I would call bite-sized pieces, I think is very attractive. I'm getting a lot of interest on who to connect to in there and be able to connect it to the port. Yeah, this has stalled a little bit, some maybe of that economic development, but certainly not stopped it. And we're really excited about that property and how that could develop.
One last question for you, Linda, then I'm going to cut you loose because I know you're busy. And it's not even a question. I'm just going to turn this last segment of our conversation over to you for any message you want to get out to the general public about the overall health of downtown Wenatchee, and where do we go from here as we hope to slowly start transitioning to a 1.5 to 2 to 3 to 4 and on down the line. Linda, I'll let you have the final word. Go right ahead.
Well, thank you, Dan, and thank you to NCW Life for letting me do this. I will say, and I've said it many times, particularly in the last couple of weeks, we have a health crisis in our city, in our state, our nation, in the world. We also have an economic crisis. And a part of the health and well-being of this place that we love so much is paying attention to both. So I guess my message today would be, when those opportunities arise for you to support local, however that looks like for you. Maybe it's a little bit, you know, people have been doing Takeout Tuesdays, you know, doing this takeout to help these restaurants. Retail is going to really need your help through the summer as we get tourism back, all those things that we depend on for economic vitality here. We're going to need the community more than ever to be locally mindful. The other thing I would ask is reach out to those business owners, the Mercies, the Peggies, the Bulls, you know, the people who own these small businesses, and tell them you miss them and tell them you can't wait to be back. They need a little heart love right now. Their hearts have been heavy. They've done what they've needed to do, and they've been done what they've been asked to do. And now the anticipation of going into their businesses, they would love to know that you care and that you miss them. The other thing is people aren't going to like all the rules and regulations put on us, but if wearing a mask is something required in a place, wear a mask, you know, let's do what we need to do so they're not in trouble. And we help them get open the best way for everybody so we can get on. I don't like going back. I like going forward. We can get on to what the future looks like till they get they'll get some kind of a vaccine for this. We're going to need to live with this. So as a community, let's help each other and be kind. You know, if we can be anything today, be kind. And just tell people how much you miss them and that you're looking forward to seeing them. That will help their heart. And I think this week particularly has been hard on people's hearts. So my only ask is that reach out to somebody today, whether it's a business, a neighbor, and be kind. And tell them how much you care about them and you miss them. We all need a little love this week more than ever. So that's my message. Kind of sappy, Dan. Kind of sappy, and I didn't get to bring you coffee.
I know, and I miss the downtown Wenatchee blend. It's so good.
I know.
You owe me one.
I do.
Linda, it's always great to see you. I can't wait to talk to you again in person. And once we start making that transition, and some of the great promotions that the Downtown Association does, be it the Ale Trail or the Girls' Night Out or whatever it is, once you get some solid dates and we move forward, you and I will have another conversation, okay?
We do. We've got Girls' Night Out on the books. You'll be hearing about it soon.
Anytime you want to talk to me, Linda, you know where to find me.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue. We are your one-stop bar and grill, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Hi, Justin here, owner of Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere. Looking for a fun night out? Join us at Club Crow. We have live bands to rock the night away, comedy to make you laugh, and if that's not enough, we have poker every Monday and Wednesday night. Club Crow in Cashmere has it all. Check out our Facebook event page for dates and times. Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating, serving North Central Washington, is proud to offer the finest heating and cooling air quality products along with prompt and professional customer service since 1984. Regardless of the temperature outside, Arctic is here for you. Arctic offers a variety of services: residential and commercial heating, air conditioning, commercial refrigeration, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs. Contractors, furniture makers, and weekend do-it-yourselfers around North Central Washington will tell you that Lombard's Hardwood Supply is the place to get what you need. Lombard's full millwork shop can handle jobs large or small. Lombard's has a full line of interior and exterior doors available, as well as custom barn doors. From alderwood to zebrawood and everything in between, it's Lombard's Hardwood Supply on School Street in Sunny Slope. Like us on Facebook and check out our monthly special.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
We're back. We have about 3 minutes left on this Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. Let's go ahead and take a look at that forecast one more time. Once again, to be considerably warmer today than it was yesterday. What a difference a day makes. Yesterday's high, only 63 degrees. That's all we got to at Penn War Memorial Airport. We were hoping for more rain. We didn't get much, 0.02 inches of rain, which is barely enough to even register. And they're going to go from a 63 for a high to near 80 today. A huge difference in the temperature variation. That's going to continue that warming trend right on into Thursday with the highs in the lower 80s, and Friday with highs in the 80s, and we're going to cool down over the weekend. The big thing we're keeping an eye on, and we can't stress this enough, thunderstorms, a distinct possibility now. Every time they update the forecast, they increase the odds of getting a thunder cell here in the Wenatchee Valley, especially Friday afternoon and Friday evening. And so when you're talking about thunderstorms with potentially significant weather, certainly some scattered showers, a distinct possibility over the weekend. Thunderstorms, not really what we want to see. Obviously, thunder cells means lightning, hail, heavy rain, and those pockets, wind as well. The one thing we really don't want is lightning. Lightning causes fires, and we don't want that. So anyway, every time they update the forecast, they increase those odds, especially now they're telling us on Friday afternoon and Friday evening. From the National Weather Service, let's do this in detail. So lots of sunshine today after a high of only 63 yesterday with clouds and rain. We're going to be all the way up to 79, so we're going to have a 16-degree difference in our afternoon high between today and yesterday. 57 for the overnight low under fairly cloudy skies. The next system comes in for a renewed chance of rain both Thursday and Friday. We'll have about 80 on Thursday, but lots of clouds, about 84 or so on Friday. So we're going to go from well below normal to well above normal on Thursday and Friday. And again, on Friday afternoon and early Friday evening, the occasional thunder cell could make things a bit on the tricky side. As we begin our weekend Friday night, mostly cloudy. We'll get down to 56 for the overnight low. Kind of a mixed bag Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be a tug of war between the clouds and the sun. It'll be about 50-50 either way. 74 on Saturday, 75 on Sunday. Can't rule out a straight raindrop over the weekend. Chance of rain picks up a little bit on Monday, but lots of clouds and highs just about normal. Our normal high right around 77 or 78 degrees. That's it for us. Have a good and safe Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.